The first thing I noticed wasn't her voice. It was the sound of her heels, sharp, deliberate, like punctuation marks on marble. 3 months of silence, then that sound again. She walked into the room with a lawyer at her side, her perfume, same one she wore when she left, lingering like a ghost. I stood at the window, the city lights flickering against the glass. The inheritance letter still sat on my desk. $8 million. My father's final message. She smiled before speaking. Not the nervous kind, the practiced kind. The kind that hides motive behind charm. I knew that smile. I used to fall for it. Now it made me want to step back. The lawyer cleared his throat. Papers shuffled. Something about marital assets, post-divorce adjustments. I barely listened. My eyes were fixed on her. 3 months ago, she filed for divorce claiming emotional neglect. 3 months later, she wanted to talk about what's fair. Fair. A word people use when they're about to steal from you politely. I didn't say a word. I just watched her hands. The ring finger was still bare, but she wore a watch I'd bought her. White gold, custom engraved. She hadn't taken that off, not even now. It began before the money, long before the inheritance, before the papers. I can see it now, the signs she left scattered like breadcrumbs. Late calls, sudden work trips, messages that ended when I entered the room. At first, I convinced myself it was paranoia. That's the cruel thing about love. It blinds you, even when your instincts are screaming. One night, I heard her whispering in the kitchen. I pretended to be asleep, but her words slipped through the dark. "I'll tell him after it's finalized." Tell me what? That question lived under my skin for weeks. I smiled. I kissed her forehead. I asked nothing. Because silence gives people rope, and she kept pulling. When she filed, I didn't fight it. I signed. Quietly. She thought it was defeat. It wasn't. It was observation. You learn more from what people do after they think they've won. And when I got the call about my father's death, and the inheritance that followed, I realized she'd be back. Greed has a scent. You can smell it before you see it. I started piecing things together the way I handle business, methodically. No emotions, just facts. I went through her old emails. Archived messages she forgot were synced to our shared account. Hidden conversations under code names. I tracked calls, times, dates, patterns. The name Daniel appeared too often. Her coworker, the one she said was just a friend. I looked him up. Newly divorced, bankrupt, convenient timing. I didn't rage. I calculated. The world teaches you that patience is weakness. It's not. It's preparation. I hired a private investigator, the same one who handled corporate audits for my firm. Within 2 weeks, I had photographs. Grainy, cold, enough to make denial impossible. Hotel lobbies, dinners, a weekend at a lake house. The last image broke something quiet inside me. Her sitting across from him, laughing, touching his wrist the way she used to touch mine when she wanted to steer a conversation. That gesture, small, rehearsed, was her tell. Still, I waited. I wanted her to believe she was safe, that I was out of the picture. When she filed, I signed with steady hands. When she walked away, I let her. And when the inheritance came, I smiled for the first time in months. The evidence arrived in a sealed folder. I didn't open it right away. I placed it on my desk beside the inheritance papers. Money, proof, freedom, a strange trinity. When she showed up again, lawyer in tow, I was ready. She talked about rights, equity, what she contributed to the marriage. Her lawyer spoke, but I barely heard him. Her eyes did all the talking. Calculated empathy. The kind of look that says, I can still make you feel something. I reached for the folder, slid it across the table. This might help, I said. My voice was steady, almost kind. She opened it. One photo slipped out. The lake house. Her with him. The lawyer glanced at it, then at her. The silence that followed was surgical. She stammered something about timing, misunderstandings, but it didn't matter. Truth doesn't need translation. Her smile cracked for the first time that day. I leaned forward slightly. "I didn't tell the court," I said. "I didn't need to." Her face shifted. Confusion first, then fear, then realization. "I wanted you to think you'd won, to see what you'd do when you thought I was gone." She tried to speak, but her voice broke. The lawyer gathered his papers quietly and excused himself. He didn't want to be part of what came next. I stood, straightened my jacket, and looked at her the way one looks at a stranger in passing. "You came back for money," I said, "but what you lost can't be bought." I turned, walking toward the door. Behind me I heard the faintest sound, a sob she tried to swallow. It wasn't satisfaction I felt. It was finality, a clean cut, no jagged edges. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't need to. I sat by the window, city lights moving like slow-burning stars. The silence felt earned. People talk about closure as if it's something someone gives you. It's not. It's what's left when you stop needing answers. She filed for freedom. I gave it to her. Then she came back for what she thought was still mine. But all she saw was a reflection of the man she'd already destroyed and rebuilt. The money sits untouched in the bank. The photographs in a locked drawer. I keep them not as proof, but as reminder that love without truth is just a transaction, and I don't deal in those anymore. I looked at the clock. Midnight.